Episode number 28, and we have a special treat for everyone tonight. She's coming here right from New York City. She's multi-talented. Her name is Ashley Lynne Evans out of New York City. She's a stand-up comedian. She's a singer. She's an actress. She comes right out of New York City, the hustle and the bustle. She works for Just Edgy Enough Comedy, Brian Stoops, amongst other promotions. I met this young lady at the Whiskey Cellar in New York City back Sunday, October 19, 2025. She killed it at that show, and she continues to rock the stages everywhere she goes. She's just a naturally funny lady and a great person. I'm happy to know who she is, and she is here tonight, the multi-talented Ashley Lynne Evans. Welcome to the show.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored.
Yes.
I'm in the presence of glory right now.
Yes, you already have. You already have some people here. Bambi saying, hey.
Hey.
The Hustle Max say salute, rise up. Hey, everyone. Bambi says, hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Straight out of New York City, she's here tonight, Ashley Lynne Evans, and be a great, interesting interview here / podcast. We appreciate everybody being here. I am your host, the Real Deal Joel Davis, known as Comedian Joel Davis. I'm a former MMA fighter, professional wrestler. Now I am a podcaster, stand-up comedian, and also a promoter of shows. Let's get to Ashley Lynne Evans because she's here tonight live from New York City. Ashley, where was your first show, for who, and when was that?
First time ever doing stand-up or first time ever doing a show?
First night on the stage.
First night ever on the stage. I was at an open mic in Buffalo, New York. That's where I'm from. Go Bills. We're actually good now. And I was at an open mic supporting a friend at Milky's on Elmwood, and I was drunk, and she signed me up for the open mic, and I didn't know. And then she was like, you're up. And I was like, what? And then I went up there, and I'm not going to say it was good, because it wasn't, but I did get laughs. And whether or not that was because I was funny or drunk we don't know. But I caught the bug, and I was moving initially to New York to act, but in the back of my mind, I was like, that one time I did drunk stand-up, maybe I'll try doing it not drunk and see what happens.
That is crazy. What a crazy way to start. What year was that?
2015, so 11 years ago.
Wow, 11 years ago. 11 years ago, still going strong, stronger than ever. Ashley Lynne Evans, born in Buffalo, New York. Are you still in New York City now? Do you live out there?
Yep, I'm out here in Queens right now, Astoria.
Wow, Astoria, Queens, New York. That's another big city. New York is just a big state itself. Queens, New York. So you're getting all around. So a lot of comedy shows, I'm sure, that are out that way, Ashley.
Yeah.
And born in Buffalo, New York, starting out in Buffalo, New York, just by kind of like a friend, kind of like trying to playing a joke on you. You go up there and you have a decent set. Didn't even know you were on the lineup. Hit an open mic, and 11 years later, here you are. When did you start singing, Ashley? Because I've heard you sing. You're a great singer. You froze there, Ashley. So, Ashley, I know you can hear me. So, basically, just sign in and sign out and sign back in. It just takes about 30 seconds. We'll get you right back there. Appreciate everybody staying in. Long Zoom. We got a Zoom coming in here, Zoom through OBS and YouTube Live. We got some technical bad weather out there in New York tonight. The storms hit, and we lost Ashley for a moment, but she should be back right with us. Ashley is going to be. Ashley, you're back with us. Hello. Yes. Hi. Hello. So when did you start singing? When did your singing career start?
Oh, that career. I've always been singing. I was an annoying toddler. I sang all the time. I was raised in church, actually, and I don't go to church anymore. That's okay if you do that. But, one of my biggest takeaways from church was the music aspect, because both of my parents were on the worship team, so, they both sang. My mom plays piano, and I had to be there, hours earlier than everyone else just for the band to rehearse. So that's where I learned how to, read music and harmonize, and then, I became school age. I did like musicals in school and singing. So like that, I think if I had to peg it down to like first performance itch strikes, it was music for sure. In fact, I started to go to school for music before I switched to acting, because that is like my first love is music.
Okay, excellent. So, like we said when we introduced you tonight, Ashley Lynne Evans is here tonight. She added the name Lee to her name because there was a porn star that was Ashley Evans, just so you know, a little side fact there. And Ashley Lynne Evans is here. She's not only a stand-up comedian, she's a musician, and she's also an actress. Now, when did you get into acting? Was that something in the middle of everything? I mean, damn, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I definitely, I wanted to go like the Neil Patrick Harris route and include Lynn like as my middle name, just so that there was no confusion, because I do not have triple J's like the adult film star.
Okay. So thanks for clearing that up.
She does a different kind of acting than me, but I got into acting by doing musicals in high school. The first show I was in was Into the Woods. I was a cow, which is great. And I fell in love with musical theater. I still was kind of on the music train into college. Like I auditioned to go to college for music education with a concentration in voice. And then I went to college for that. And for a couple semesters, I was just like, I don't want to do this. I had a teacher whose name will remain anonymous, but
okay, that's fine. Yep.
He was not a fan of my voice, and granted, I'm not like a big opera person. I'm not Timothée Chalamet, so I do see the value in opera, and I think it's a beautiful art form, and I will watch the opera and enjoy the opera. But I myself am not endowed with opera skills, so I always wanted to sing Sondheim, and he would give me a hard time for that. So then, like, I just kind of like, I didn't like being in the music department because it was very opera focused. And I had friends that were in the theater department and they were kind of more my vibe. So then they were like, you should just like, I don't know, take some acting for non-majors classes just because like we want you to be able to do what makes you happy. And then I did. And my professor was like, are you in the theater department? Who are you? And I was like, oh, I just got selfish and I wanted to take an acting class. And he goes, just audition. I don't know, like see what happens. So I auditioned for the BFA. I did not get in for BFA musical theater because I dance like a fat sack of dicks, but I'm a decent actor, so I got in for acting, and I got to take music classes anyway as an elective. So really, I just suck at dancing, but I'd like to think I'm a fairly decent singer.
Well, I've never heard that term. You sang like a big bag of dicks. Well,
no, I sang not like dance like a fat sack.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about it, Ashley, because you're just like a sweet person. We ended up sharing the stage together back in New York City back last October 19th, and I have the actual poster flyer here, framed up. This is Just Edgy Comedy, folks, right here. And this was New York City, the Whiskey Cellar, 77 East 7th Street, right in New York City. And there you see Ashley Lynne Evans right there on the top of the lineup. Brian Stoops and the Whiskey Cellar present. What a show it was. And I remember you performing. And really, to be honest with you, you are really a funny female comedian. But you also, I'm just letting you know. And the other thing, too, is I really appreciated how you had brought in some of your talent as, in vocals. How long have you been working with Brian Stoops? And, and have you enjoyed being out in the New York City scene as a comedian?
Brian is such a doll. I love Brian Stoops. Brian Stoops has been all over the place, like in different countries, too, doing comedy. So I met him last year via other shows. I've done, like, shows with a few other shows at the Whiskey Cellar, Time and Again Comedy, Bombshell Comedy, Special Sauce Comedy, just to name a few. And I met Brian through those channels, and he's like, I have a show as well. It's called Just Edgy Enough. And then the rest is history. He's a delight to work with. He's a kind person. He's a family man, too, which I like to see, because I like to see, like, his family has come to shows as well, and like he's got 2 kids and his wife, and they're just like such a nice family, and it's cool to see a family in the arts who all kind of support each other and all do their own artistic stuff, because you don't always see that. So he's just, I feel like he's a part of like my family now too. So I love working with Brian.
Absolutely, and I had the pleasure to work with Brian that one night back in October last year on the show, Just Edgy Enough Comedy. And Brian Stoops did have his wife with him and one of his sons. And what a great guy! Shout out to Brian Stoops. If you just joined us, it's Ashley Lynne Evans here. She is a stand-up comedian. She's she sings, and she also does some theater, and she is also an actress. Believe it or not, she's done it all. She's focusing on stand-up comedy. She's in the big city, New York City, the hustle and bustle. She's staying there out in Queens, New York. She's hitting show after show. To get her on the show here wasn't easy. She's so booked up. We appreciate her being here tonight. Now you do something else called Killing It at Karaoke. What's this?
Oh, Queerioke is...
what's it called?
Queerioke, so like karaoke, but with queer.
Oh, I thought it was Killing It at Karaoke. So.
Oh, you're talking about...
Oh, wait a minute. What are we talking about? Is this...
You watch my Queerioke videos? Because that's just like, that's a fun karaoke bar. No, Killing It at Karaoke. So one of my other friends also met through the Whiskey Cellar and has done Just Edgy with Brian is Elise. And Elise has a show every month at Brooklyn Art House called Hot Takes and Nerdy Topics. So on that show, I just did like karaoke versions of songs, song parodies that I do. I actually have one coming up on June 13th at Brooklyn Art House with Elise, and it's Hot Takes and Nerdy Topics. My topic is Broadway, so I'm going to do a Broadway-inspired set.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Any questions for Ashley Lynne Evans? She is here. Questions or comments, we welcome it all. And please, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. It's Wrestling with Comedy. We're airing every Tuesday and every Thursday night. And tonight we have Ashley Lynne Evans right out of New York City, Queens, New York. She's here live and sharing all her wisdom and her experience. 11 years. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Hey, I'm giving you what you deserve there, and that's what you deserve because that's what you do. It's not easy what you do. Any advice for anyone that wants to get into stand-up comedy? That's a good question.
If you're thinking about doing it, but you're not really sure, don't wait for your friend to sign you up when you're drunk. I mean, you can. I don't not recommend it, but I feel like if you're actually curious about it, and you know people who do it, or even if you don't know people who do it, look for open mics in your area, kind of check it out, see if that's something that you vibe with. I've also taken some classes, which have been really helpful. So I was doing, there was that drunk open mic in 2015, then I moved to New York, and I was just going to open mics here and there, but I got like really, really serious about it in 2019, and I was like, anyone who knows me knows I'm a rambler, so sometimes I will talk, and then the funny thing is like hidden in there, like a needle in a haystack, but people are like, what is funny about what she's saying? So I'm like, I want to find a way to kind of distill my material down to the punchline, like the setup and the punchline. So I want to take classes. So I took a class in 2019 at the Comedy Cellar with Rick Crom. Shout out Rick. We love Rick. Seasoned veteran of comedy. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And he did classes at the Comedy Cellar, so we got to take that for several weeks, and then we got to do 2 showcases at Comedy Cellar. So that was super duper fun. And he's also like a titan when it comes to music as well, because he's not only done stand-up for a very long time, but he's also done musical stand-up, and he's written music for Broadway shows like You're in Town. So like he is a seasoned vet in terms of not only stand-up, but also just performance in general. So he's a huge inspiration to me. Love you, Rick Crom. And then I also have another monthly show that I work on called Laughter Party, and that's headed by Mr. William Keene. Shout out William. Love you, William. And William has a seasoned background in stand-up as well, so that's also in the East Village. And William has this really neat feature that he does on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights at 7, where if you have material that you want to run by him, or if you have a video of you doing comedy that you want to run by him for feedback, he will stream it on Instagram live, and then people can chime in and be like, oh, I really liked this tag that you did. What if you added this to it? And he coaches comedy, so that's really fun. But he also has his monthly show at Laughter Party at the Batsu Theater. He's also a Batsu person. He does a lot. So I've gotten a lot of coaching from William as well. So I don't know where I'd be without Rick or William.
That's excellent. So basically what Ashley is telling the viewers and the listeners here tonight is that she's well, you're like a sponge absorbing all this experience and information with sharing the stage and getting knowledge from all these veterans of the stand-up comedy business, slash entertainment, and you just continue to gain experience over 1 decade, 11 years in, and really with around the right people, Ashley, and you got such a great attitude, and you're very modest, but I'm just being honest, you keep it real, and that's what I like about a comedian like yourself. She's from New York City, and she's Ashley Lynne Evans. She's, like I said, if you just joined us, she's multi-talented. So listen in, this is Wrestling with Comedy. I am your host, comedian, the real deal, Joel Davis, and we're gonna hit this one with you, Ashley. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'd like you to throw like maybe a minute or two, and I know you can do this. Look at the face. I know you can do this for me. A real quick 1 or 2 minute verse in your best voice, a quick song about wrestling with comedy. Can you do that?
About wrestling? We're gonna do some music improv?
Yeah, I'd like you to do a little improv. I'd like you to do like a 1 to 2 minute Wrestling with Comedy promo that we can have here on the station. Tune in, people. The numbers are going up, Ashley. You got Jack TV saying, can't wait to hear it. You got Bambi coming in. Deb Roberts is on the chat right now. James Howard is here. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Musical improv, that is a skill that I need polishing on, but I accept the challenge. We're just gonna go for it. So about wrestling with comedy?
This podcast, yes. This podcast, yes.
Okay.
A boom, 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 boom. Here.
We're pretending with bass.
Boom, 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 boom. Ashley Lynne Evans, here she is. Here she is.
Are you wrestling with your thoughts? Are you wrestling with your brain? I'm so not an improviser. I can do crowd work.
Okay, we're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back in 2 and 2 and see what the song sounded like. We want to give it one more shot. We'll give you one more shot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ashley Lynne Evans on the spot, writing a song about Wrestling with Comedy podcast with her lovely voice. And here she is, Ashley Lynne Evans out of New York City.
What are you thinking? Maybe you're drinking. Maybe you just have some thoughts you want to share. What do you do with all of these thoughts? Get on stage and share. It's Wrestling with Comedy. You're gonna wrestle with that comedy. Let it all out. It's okay if it's a little word vomity, 'cause you're still doing comedy.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, we got someone saying she's a sweetheart. What a voice. Wow. So they liked it. I think that was really good, Ashley. That was really, really good. Your check's in the mail, but don't hold your breath. But no, that was great. It's just a joke,
I was trying to think of like rhyme schemes, and I just but I actually. And to the point of the person who said, how do I get involved? How do I start doing this? And I'm like, definitely take classes. That is a class I've been wanting to take, is musical improv. Because even though it's like tangential to stand up, I think the more skills you have in your bag, the more interesting your stand up can be. Because like for me, for example, I do a lot of song parodies. So I have like my straight up stand up, like regular standard setup, premise, setup, punchline. But just to like zhuzh it up a little bit, sometimes I'll have a song parody at the end, and that sets me apart from other people on the lineup. So that's kind of my thing. So I feel like having musical improv skills, having improv skills in general, definitely not only musical improv, but if you can take a class in regular improv, that is very, very helpful. I took UCB improv classes for a couple years, and it's a good exercise, not only in thinking on your feet, but also listening to the people around you. And in your case, in stand-up, you're listening to your audience, because yes, you're up there by yourself, but you're really not performing alone because your performance is going to suck without an audience. So they're essentially your scene partner. So you need to learn how to check in with them. You need to learn, hey, maybe this bit isn't working with this audience. Maybe we ditch it and try something else. Like, crowd work is great, but if you are doing crowd work, you don't just want to ask people a question and then be like, okay, fuck you, I'm not listening to you. Like, you really want to be there with them, and you're basically doing improv together when you're doing crowd work because you can't plan ahead for that.
Absolutely. Ashley Lynne Evans sharing some knowledge. She's 11 years in as a stand-up comedian. She's been a singer since she was basically an infant. She's been an actress for over a decade, or, along with that. And we have people in the chat right now, Ashley, Jack TV saying Broadway quality on that song. We have someone else saying, I agree with Jack. So, yeah, it really was a real good on the spot. So get close and listen, because we're here live. This is a live episode of Wrestling with Comedy, episode 28. Ashley Lynne Evans, she was born in Buffalo, New York, resides in Queens, New York, hitting the scene all up in line in New York. She's hitting it every weekend. Throughout the week, she hits the scene, and she's working for a lot of different promotions, including Brian Stoops, Just Edgy Enough Comedy, and she's bringing it to the stage, and she's really happy to have her tonight, and, blessed to have her because, let's be honest, she's got a bright future, and if someone told you she doesn't, then they've told you a lie. Ashley, let me ask you this. Real quick question for you. If you were to pinpoint your very best performance yet in stand-up comedy, what would it be, and where was it? Where did you feel the best, like the audience and everything?
That's got to be a laughter party show. Like, I love all of the shows and all of the people that I've gotten to meet through doing comedy, but laughter party is my home base. Like, that is my family. That is, 2019 was going strong. 2020 happens. Weird stuff starts to happen in 2020. And I'm not just talking about the Super Bowl with Shakira and J-Lo, which they were amazing, by the way. And if you're mad at that, you're just jealous because they're moms and their bodies look amazing. So you can take several seats if you don't like that halftime show, or just change the channel. I don't know. I'm a firm believer in if you don't like something, why are we raging about it on the internet when you could just turn it off? But that's just me. Anyways, 2020 pandemic happens. So then we don't have live shows anymore for a while. And I'm going to get vulnerable with you. I have pretty severe OCD. So, honestly, the beginning of the pandemic was awesome because everybody was washing their hands, and I'm like, haha, finally, suckers. But then everybody started to get bored with COVID because, everybody's stuck inside and staying with the same people all the time. Like, I understand it, but we were far from out of the pandemic and people were just going out. And so when comedy started back up again, I was really scared to go back in person to do shows, even though I really, really love being on stage. But my roommate had been doing Laughter Party, and she was like, I really think you should just come to a show, watch the show, see if you like the show. So I went to go support her, shout out Patricia, at Laughter Party, and I got to meet William, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to do this. And then we started doing coaching sessions, and then he put me on a show, and I absolutely felt like it was like Narnia. You know how in Narnia, the children go into the wardrobe, and then 7 million years go by, and then they come out of the wardrobe, and it's no time at all has passed? COVID was my wardrobe. And I came out of the wardrobe. That's not a gay joke. I came out of the Happy Pride Fest. I came out of that wardrobe, and it was no time had passed. I was just right at home, right back up on stage. So, there have been many, many Laughter Party shows that have gone really well, but the one I think that was the most special was my very first Laughter Party show because it was just a return.
That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. That's a great story. And what year was that, real quick?
That was 2024.
2024. And what part was that in New York City?
That is right around the corner from where we were at Whiskey Cellar. So it's 67 First Avenue, and it takes place in a theater called Batsu, which is funny because that is an improv show, but that's not the show that I do. But every other night of the week, there's a show called Batsu, and it's an improv show based on a Japanese game show. So think like Whose Line Is It Anyway on crack, but from Japan. And there's 4 improvisers, and they're like playing games as like battles, and when they lose a battle, they get punished. So they get like shot with a paintball gun. They get like smacked in the head with like a fan.
Wow, that sounds like abuse. Ashley, we're at about 8 minutes here. They get whacked with the fans. Very good. That's nice that you used the prop. I appreciate it. But it's just, I get what you're saying. It's a crazy, crazy scene over there.
It's a fun show, but every other night of the week is that show. But on Monday nights, that's their dark night. So that is where we have our stand-up night, and that is where Laughter Party is. But it's a good group. It's my family.
Well, it sounds great, and that we appreciate you sharing that story with us. We're at about 8 minutes, folks. Any questions or comments? We don't want to say goodnight, but in 8 minutes, they're going to kick us off here. So if you want to ask any questions, we got a lot of people tuning in, and they're staying with us here. David Lopez says hello to you. Bambi's still here. Say hello to Bambi.
Hi, Bambi.
Yeah, Bambi. And you also have Jack Television. He said, like I said, he was the one that said you had Broadway quality with your voice. We have a segment, Ashley, on this podcast every Tuesday, every Thursday night, live, 7 p.m. Eastern Time with your host. That'd be me, comedian, the real deal, Joel Davis, bringing you the best in stand-up comedy, past and present, and the best in professional wrestling, past and present, right here live. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit like. We appreciate it. It's called Deal in the Names. One name. Please give me one statement, one word on the name. The first name on Deal in the Names, Ashley, tonight is Karen Bergreen.
I'm not sure who that is, but I would like to know her. What is she?
Okay, well, she headlined a show that you were on in New York City, so you probably don't remember, but that's okay. Maybe she didn't make the show. No problem. We'll go to number 2. Number 2 on the name, Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield. I'm actually headed to Dangerfields after this to do a show.
Wow, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of shows at Dangerfields. It's been renamed Rodney's now, but it's the same venue.
Yeah, I actually did a mic up there a couple of years ago, and it was for, you must know Victoria. Ironstein. Yeah, Victoria.
Yeah. I love her.
Yes, very nice lady. Number 3 on Deal in the Names, Brian Stoops.
I love Brian Stoops. Brian Stoops, you are my brother from another mother.
Right on. Oh, and the middle of this, but if you can give me a quick answer, Ashley, only because we're at 6 minutes. Jack TV has a question for you. How do you think the Buffalo Bills will do in football next year? Just real quick.
I would love it if they could make it to another Super Bowl, because they haven't been since '94. So, Josh Allen, get it together.
All right, very good, very nice. Number 4 on Deal in the Names, it's Ashley Lynne Evans. She gets fired up as the show goes. She's just getting heated up. Number 4 is the great Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball, an icon in female comedy. I've been to the Lucille Ball Museum in Jamestown. It's not far from Buffalo.
Wow, I figured that you would have a great word on Lucille Ball. How about number 5 on the list? Her name is not Alan. I messed that up. Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres. My statement is, Finding Dory made me cry just as much as Finding Nemo.
So that means you like her? Because that went over my head, so I'm not sure what that means. But
Ellen DeGeneres, she's the voice of Dory in Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. I mean, she's got a very seasoned career on top of that. But I think when I think of Ellen, the first fond memory of Ellen that I get is Finding Nemo, Finding Dory.
Yes, very, very popular, very, very successful. Ellen DeGeneres. That was Deal in the Names with Ashley Lynne Evans out of Queens, New York City. She's joining us here on episode 28. It's been a great episode, and we want to ask you one more question before we get to finish this statement, and that question is, Ashley, what do you love the most about stand-up comedy, and what do you dislike about stand-up comedy? And that's a good question.
What I love the most about stand-up comedy is that, I mean, I've dipped my toe in various performance fields, right? And I love all of them, but the thing about stand-up that is very special to me is it's me. It's my voice. I get to do the writing. I am not being told by someone else what I am supposed to say, so I'm sharing a bit of my soul with you, but making it palatable so that you can be entertained but also educated. I definitely want to do more mental health material because I think it's really important, especially in 2026, to be able to talk about our thoughts and our feelings. So I love that stand-up gives me the opportunity to do that in a way that is entertaining and makes it easier for people to talk about it. And also just the people that I've met, that I've gotten the chance to work with. Like, comedians have a very rare perspective on life, and I think the more perspectives that you learn from the more people you meet, the more well-rounded you're going to be, because you can learn something from every single person that you talk to.
Very well said. And is there anything that you dislike about stand-up comedy that you want to mention real quick at 3-minute mark?
I wish that I could quit my day job and do stand-up full-time. So if I had one bone to pick, it's I wish there were more opportunities to do stand-up as a career before you get famous.
That is a great answer. And you know what? And like we said before, Ashley Lynne Evans is not only a very talented woman, she has a very sweet heart, and she's out there doing her thing, and and really making a lot of sense here. We got one here. Joel, your little brother Bobby F says, "Hey," and Jim his mom is watching from heaven. Well, I think that's great. I'm not sure who that is, but no disrespect. But anyways, we appreciate you being here, and God rest their soul. But you know what? And like we just said, and like Ashley said, let's keep our mental health strong. And comedy can be very, therapeutic for people. Ashley Lynne Evans is here. Finish this statement, Ashley, for us, please, on Wrestle with Comedy on the spot. And here it is. When I started singing at an early age, I thought I'd become famous doing
Barney. Like, I thought I was going to be on Barney. I was a little Delulu.
That is great. That is a great answer. What a pleasure it's been to have Ashley Lynne Evans here, stand-up comedian out of Queens, New York. She's been with us here live on episode 28. We really appreciate you taking the time being here tonight. We have a lot of the viewers and comments and questions here, and and it's great to have you. And where do you see yourself, real quick before we say goodnight? Where do you see yourself in 2027?
2027. I hope that, first of all, I hope that I'm booking more gigs and gaining more autonomy to maybe start traveling and doing comedy in different cities, because New York will always be my home. But anytime I do comedy in another city, it's just really interesting to meet the people and learn perspectives of people in different cities. And I just, I don't know, call me crazy for this, but the idea of, traveling with a gaggle of comics and, going to different places and experiencing them with fellow like-minded people sounds like a lot of fun to me. I don't want kids in my life, but I feel like my family, I love my actual family, but in terms of having a family, my comedy friends are my family.
Ashley, I don't mean to cut you off, hon. We're at about 30 seconds. I just want to say this. I agree totally with you. There's nothing wrong with that. And this was Ashley Lynne Evans, New York City. She is a stand-up comedian, actress, and singer. Thank you for being here tonight. Until next time, folks, keep it real at all costs. Good night,